Public radio in Atlanta, WABE, is right here.
It's Wednesday, the middle of the week, hump day, that day that everybody starts looking forward toward the weekend, even though I start looking for Friday on Monday, but that's just me personally. Welcome to the Morning Brew. Let's see who we have to say good morning to this morning. We have the Truckin' Motherfucker, first post of the chat, Magnus Deacon. We have Reality Check, Bubonic for you, Miss T. Ichabod. Good morning. We have a Neilk in the chat. And as I scroll down, I see a Numbed Skull. Good morning, you two. Good morning, Gaylork. Hello, hello. I see an Ichabod. I have a Trash Panda in my live chat. Good morning, Comrade Cthulhu. How are you doing this morning? And, I have a fuckwad, because fuckwad is our lovable fuckwad. And the Sunday Funday host with the almost red robot is in the live chat as well. How are you guys doing this morning? Oh, hey, S. Brewer. I scrolled all the way down. And a good afternoon to Mariel Bell, for I know she is across the pond. Well, I do have to give proper introductions. So, there is a red robot in the chat. So for those of you that do not know, on Sunday, starting at noon Eastern Time, he does Sunday Funday. Whereas he puts it, he has a plethora of shitlords for your edification. So if you want to be up on the next time he does one, just click those three little red dots all the way over to the right of his post and live chat and subscribe to his channel. I have a Panina-chan. Hi, Panina. How you doing, Panina? Yeah, and I have a barking dog, because for some strange reason he's been really hyper and trying to interrupt my live streams. He's derailing me. Gasp and abound. Alright, let's see what we've got over here. Alright, first tweet of the day. We have a readout of the SecDef Mattis meeting with Indonesian Minister of Defense, Ryan Kuder. Hang on just one moment. Alright, and let's see if we've got the breaking news on that. Whoops, that's the wrong one. Because I's a dummy. Alright, let's get this one up and started. Highlight the right one for a change, right? Yep. Alright. Bink. Now if I do this. Yay! Alright, so Pentagon Chief Spokesperson Dana W. White provided the following readout. Secretary of Defense James Mattis met today with Indonesian Minister of Defense Razamazard Rayakudu. Don't ask me to re-say that, because that's not going to happen. I think I screwed that up anyway. In Jakarta, their third meeting since Mattis has sworn in a year ago. The two leaders discussed the security situation in the region, to include North Korea, the South China Sea, and North Natuna Sea, ISIS, and the Rohingya refugee crisis. Mattis noted the importance of the U.S.-Indonesia partnership, recognizing that the two are like-minded partners with diverse populations who share a commitment to democracy, peace, and prosperity. He noted that Indonesia is the maritime fulcrum between the Pacific and Indian Oceans, and that the U.S. would continue to strengthen its strong military-to-military relationship with Indonesia in the future. Mattis thanked Indonesia for its efforts to implement international sanctions against North Korea, emphasizing that the issue was still in the diplomatic realm to resolve. So there's a little bit of that snippet. Don't want to read too much. We do have a 6-minute long update on Kentucky to read, so I don't want to get too far into the SecDef thing, but as always, all those links can be found down below. OIR, which is the Operation Inherent Resolve, which is the coalition versus the ISIS troops in the Middle East, has tweeted out, the spokesman has tweeted, soldiers of the 61st Iraqi Brigade assigned to defend Baghdad are trained by CITF OIR, Aussies and Kiwis in Taji on urban combat and actions to find clear IEDs left by ISIS. After training, the 61st will return to Baghdad, continue efforts to secure the city, defeat Daesh. So yeah, we're getting training from Kiwis and Aussies. I think that's kind of cool, right? Newshound's in the dock. Yeah, well, he keeps trying to interrupt my streams. It's not that I don't want to play fetch with him, but I'm in the middle of doing a stream, so he's kind of in trouble because he keeps interrupting Mama. And he should know better by now. Oh, those are the commissions. And those are the tweets for the day. So, I think there was one more, but I don't know where the hell happened to it. Oh, there it is. All right, here's an outreach program that the Department of Defense is doing. Did you know fewer than 1% of Americans are serving in the military? Many people have no idea what day-to-day life is like for service members. We want to change that with the This Is Your Military initiative starting next month. So they're doing an outreach program for you to, get to know and recognize, your military, so you can back them up and support them any way you can. Morning, Callie. How's it going? And why did we head desk panina? I wonder why. So those are the tweets of the day. I hope you guys like the little art gallery at the beginning. If you know anybody that is an artist that is accepting commissions, please let me know by DMing me either on Twitter or through Discord with a link to samples and prices for those samples. And I will use those as a slideshow for the opening while I'm reading, before the show actually begins. Yeah, shouted dog. Oh. Ah, okay. Ooh, no work in 36 hours. Ow, 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 ow. Somebody needs an espresso IV. I thin. Alright, so. Someone needs to save more often. Alright, so here we go. Okay, as always, I am going to start out with, we're going to start with the NPR stuff, and then we're going to move into weather and other things, because I want to stay on some sort of format. Right. An ADD person on a format. This should be interesting. Alright, here we go. NPR News.
Those wealthy elite globalist plutocrats than many people.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Corva Coleman. President Trump is leaving today for Davos, Switzerland, where he'll attend the World Economic Forum. NPR's Mara Eliason says world leaders will hear Trump urging them to invest in the U.S.
This year they're feeling that Donald Trump has turned out to be a lot more friendly to the kind of people who go to Davos, those wealthy elite globalist plutocrats, than many people thought, although his rhetoric is still populist and protectionist. He hasn't drained the swamp. He just gave big tax cuts to the wealthy and to big businesses.
NPR's Mara Eliason. This week, Trump also imposed high tariffs on imported solar panels and washing machines. The White House says it's to protect American businesses. It's not clear if China, which makes many of those goods, will impose retaliatory tariffs. The relief group Save the Children has temporarily suspended all of its programs in Afghanistan. That follows an attack on its offices in the eastern Afghan city of Jalalabad. 2 people have been killed and at least 14 injured. The violence began with a suicide bombing. The firefight with Afghan security officers lasted for hours. In the Libyan city of Benghazi, there's been a double car bombing. Authorities say at least 35 people were killed and 60 others wounded. No one has claimed responsibility. NPR's Jane Araf has more.
The first attack happened as worshippers were leaving a mosque in a residential area after evening prayers last night. The second, about 15 minutes later, was timed to go off just as emergency workers arrived to evacuate the wounded. Civilians, security forces, and medics were among the victims in the city in eastern Libya. Since 2014, East and West Libya has been split between rival governments and parliaments backed by their own militias. Benghazi is controlled by forces loyal to former U.S.-based Libyan commander Khalifa Haftar, who drove Islamist militants out of the city late last year. Jane Araf, NPR News, Cairo.
Wake me up when they're done. Well, I did stop it. All right, now for the weather.
This has been a pretty active week so far. Of course, on Sunday to Monday, some heavy snow spreading from the Rockies into the plains and then eventually out into the upper Midwest. We had blizzard warnings on Monday as well, from Colorado all the way to Minnesota. That snow eventually worked up into the northeast with some ice in those particular areas as well. That snow kind of dying out, a few lingering areas of precipitation through the Ohio Valley in the northeast, but another storm system is moving into the western U.S. with heavy rain along the coast, so a lot of wind and also some high elevation snow. Now, ahead of that, we will be warming and looking at some fairly decent warming over the eastern half of the country over the next couple of days. Again, the webcam from Minneapolis showing a much quieter area there, quieter in the northeast. No more winter weather headlines, but we still may have a few light snow showers. Again, could be adding up to a light coating here and there across the region, but not quite as much as what we had yesterday. So there is light snow, so kind of drifting through the Ohio Valley in the northeast, maybe through the Great Lakes region as well with a little clipper. But the best chance of heavy snow we found out west as this Pacific storm system and moisture begins to spread inland. So we're talking from the Wasatch Range through essentially the northern Rockies, the Cascades, and also to the Sierra Nevada range. Quite a bit of rain at the lower elevations as well, but there are your winter weather headlines. Get a number of winter storm warnings within these particular areas. Could be talking feet of snow on the highest elevations. Lower elevations will pick up some snow as well, but not quite as much. And again, at the lower elevations and along the coast, some rainfall. Seattle, Portland, and Redding, maybe 1 to 2 inches of liquid there. And there's the Sierra Nevada range and getting some fairly decent snowfall amounts as well. All right, temperatures here of the central U.S. are warming. Talking some 10 to 15 degree above average temps, 30 in Minneapolis, 60s down into Dallas and Houston. Again, out ahead of the storm system, again, we're going to start to see that milder air push east. And there's a look at highs from average by Friday.
All right, and there's the weather, which leads us into the story of the morning, which is the update for the Kentucky high school shooting. As you can imagine, there were several articles out there, but I actually found some of the press conference was about, 15 minutes. I did cut it down to about 6. If you want to see the full 15 minutes, as always, the link to the original video is down below. But here is what they had to say as far as an update for Kentucky. The governor spoke first. They are stressing that these are just the facts that they can release, seeing how it is still an ongoing investigation. They told people they would not be accepting questions after the timeline and the information was released because of the nature of the investigation. They also asked all the press to please leave the families alone, that they weren't releasing any of the names for that reason, so the press wouldn't bother the people that are now trying to put their lives together after this tragedy. And now, without further ado, here is the statement.
It occurred at the Marshall County High School. At this time, there are 19 individuals who are being treated or have been treated for injuries. 14 of those are gunshot wounds. 5 of those are non-gunshot wound-related injuries. Of the 14 who have received gunshot wounds, 2 have passed away. One was a decedent at the scene. That student was a 15-year-old female. A second student, also 15 years old, a male, passed away at the hospital. Students were taken to multiple hospitals, local and regional hospitals. 6 of them were flown to the nearest level 1 trauma center. One of the decedents, the male, passed away at that center. There are 5 other students, as best we know, at that center. 5 we know for fact. We're trying to determine that every one of those that has been shot was a student, is our belief that they are. In terms of other information that's able to be shared with you at this time, the shooter was a student, a 15-year-old male. That student is in custody. That student was apprehended at the scene. That student was apprehended in a non-violent apprehension. That student will be charged with both murder and attempted murder. The specifics and details of that, some of which is being developed right now, are not able to be shared as to exactly the time, but that is the process that you can anticipate will be unfolding in the hours ahead. Those are the basic facts. It is heartbreaking, and I will say this before I hand this off to the Commissioner. I beg of you again, respect the fact that these children belong to this community.
Thank you, Governor. Good afternoon. I'm here to tell you some times and specifics, but not to go too specific, could possibly jeopardize our case. What we do know is when the bell rang, the first responders showed their best. People from city, state, federal agencies have all called to offer their assistance and have all come to this location to help. The incident began at 7:57 a.m. when a 15-year-old student armed with a handgun entered the high school and started shooting. At 7:59 a.m., the first 911 call came in. At 8:06 a.m., first responders arrived at the high school. I'll also note there was an SRO at the school when this occurred. And I will also note that the students at that school did exactly as they were trained. The Kentucky State Police has been in this area recently teaching students and faculty how to respond to an active shooter situation. And everybody in that high school reacted appropriately. As the governor said, there were a total of 14 shot. One female died at the scene. One male died at the hospital. A tragic day for all of us. Right after the shooting occurred, I got a call. We responded. I also got a call from the FBI Special Agent in charge, Amy EST, offering her assistance to us, helping us process high school scene. We have also been joined by the ATF, who've offered their assistance. We've been joined by a number of police departments throughout the area, sending people here to help the Sheriff's Department respond to calls. So we're all joined together in a professional manner to process this scene. There's a lot yet to be done. There are a lot of witnesses to be interviewed, and we're not going to get into specifics at this time. But those are the calls that came in. That's how it was responded to. The investigation right now is being conducted by the state police, critical incident response team, and the FBI. And ATF is here as well. We're processing the scene. There's a lot of work to be done. I would ask that anybody that is a witness to this to not talk to the media, but to talk to us first. Anybody that has information and has not talked to the Kentucky State Police, I would ask you to contact us and give us the information that you have. There's a lot to be done. It's going to be a long few days. And I ask for your patience. When we can release additional information, we will, but we don't want to do anything to hamper the prosecution. I will tell you the 15-year-old is going to be charged with murder and attempted murder. And we're working with authorities now to proceed with those charges.
So that's where the investigation. I don't know. I downloaded the video, I edited it through my video editor, and I put it directly into OBS. I have got no clue why it likes to echo, why it does echo, why it's a pain in the ass when it echoes, so on and so forth. So if somebody can help me with that, I would more than appreciate it, because it is frustrating to me. And I have tried, and I even used settings that were recommended by Numbed Skull to fix the voice meter. And I almost threw my computer out trying to figure out the darn thing. Apparently I don't have patience for that bullshit, and it just doesn't work the way it's supposed to for me, no matter what the hell I do. Taking the audio from the video and the audio from your wave speaker. It could be. The voice meter is the great Satan. Sometimes I'm inclined to agree because it pisses me off to no end. Alright. Because I have followed every frickin' set of instructions imaginable. Echoes are common with governor speaking events, though. Okay, well, Alright, here we go. Full school bus slides down icy street, students unhurt. This is out of Massachusetts. These are short little blurbs, which is why I didn't take the time to summarize them, because when they're this short, it's sort of hard to reword them to make sure they're not plagiarized. Sutton, Massachusetts. Officials in a Massachusetts town say no one was hurt when a school bus was full of middle and high school students slid backwards down an icy road and crashed into a stopped car. A nearby resident captured video of the crash early Tuesday in Sutton. Neither vehicle was badly damaged, and the bus continued on to school after the crash. Later Tuesday, a Sutton school van crashed into a pole. 2 adults and a child were hospitalized after that crash. Sutton Superintendent Theodore Friend, what a last name, says he consulted with other school administrators and highway officials before deciding to send the buses out. He says most main roads had been treated before the first crash, but some smaller roads had not. Oh, I see. Don't get me wrong. People who have the ability to work with those kinds of programs can use it as an amazing tool to increase your channel's production value exponentially. It's just geek to me. Yeah, it's geek to me too. Neil, I remember when my school bus got stuck in the snow of an apartment complex trying to pick up students whose bus was stuck. We had to hike out. People we were to pick up just gave up and stayed home. Yeah, I would have stayed home at that point. Massive 2 shits. Alright, cool, Numbed Skull. I do have some commission writing to do, and I have some voice work to do and stuff today, so we'll see how that fits in. Morning, G. Brunnert. I am doing alright. Let's see what we got here. Next one. Pitt. That is the University of Pittsburgh. Suspends fraternity after student hospitalized. Pittsburgh. The University of Pittsburgh has suspended a fraternity and temporarily barred all Greek life organizations from hosting events with alcohol after a student was hospitalized in an alcohol-related event. University officials have not released specifics about what led to the student's hospitalization on Thursday. They declined Tuesday to comment on the student's condition. The school did not identify the fraternity involved, but Sigma Chi's national office says the Pitt chapter has been suspended for apparently violating alcohol and drug policies. A statement from the university says the gravity of situation demands reflection on the role of alcohol in campus life. Last year, the drinking death of a 19-year-old fraternity pledge at Penn State yielded criminal charges against 26 people. Yeah, okay, try and make campuses dry. Like, that's gonna work. I'm not saying it's good news, I'm not saying it's bad news, I'm just saying it's not gonna work. They're gonna find a way to sneak that shit in anyway. I mean, they're colleges. What can you do? I was sick as a dog last night. I'm better today mostly. Oh, that's nice to hear, Reality Check. I'm glad you're feeling better. Gaylord, there was no bus that came to my apartment when I was in my senior year of high school. Morning, Jacob. See, in the South, normally, if there is an inkling of a hint that there might be just the tiniest bit of snow, they close the schools. I was a party of, I forgot what year it happened, but they closed my school because there was a threat of an ice storm, and nothing happened that day. It was just really fucking cold. So you can imagine that, parents were pissed because their kids had to stay home for no apparent reason because nothing happened. Islamic State targets Save the Children. Out of Jalalabad provincial government comes a report stating the gunmen stormed a Save the Children aid office on Wednesday, claiming 2 lives and wounding 20. Islamic State is taking full responsibility for the attack on the agency, which started with a suicide car bomb at around 9 a.m. provincial time. Witnesses state there seemed to be 4 attackers dressed as police, which is a common tactic. The wounded have been taken to the hospital. Islamic State stated the attack was meant to target British, Swedish, and Afghan government buildings near the compound, including a building of Afghan Department of Women's Affairs. Attacks like this are what caused the Red Cross to reduce their operations in Afghanistan. An attack on the Red Cross last year killed 7 of the organization's staff. Jalalabad is the capital of Nangarhar province and a known stronghold to Islamic States. The Islamic State. MWM. Town shut down in the south if the snowflake is... Yeah, if this... Exactly, Ms. T. Exactly. And you know, all the bread, milk, and eggs disappears. All the bread, milk, and eggs. So apparently, you know, during a storm with everything closed, they're eating egg sandwiches and drinking milk. You know, I would prefer to get a little more than just bread, milk, and eggs, but that seems to be the only thing that disappears in a grocery store. Let me see. In West Virginia, we keep them going, and people put chains on their tires if they live out of the town. In town, we salt the road and clear them. That's Gaylord. Yeah, down in the south, we're not prepared for major storms because they don't happen all that often. So when they do, a lot of stuff gets shut down. The city, schools. You get to see who the really big idiots are because those are the idiots that like to go out anyway. You know, at the behest and because of utter stupidity, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's the South for you. We're not really equipped for large storms. We do have, like, salt trucks and stuff, but not as prevalent as you would find them in the North or in West Virginia or places like that. So, next on the list.
Your mother was a hamster and your father smelt of elderberries.
If you're looking for a wonderful, wonderful little vocal short, Day is Dead has put a song on her channel called Won't Comply, The Patriarchy is a Lie. She has a wonderful voice. This is a great song to listen to. I listened to it this morning, which is how I find most of my recommended videos, in the morning and sometimes after the show. So, yeah, please check out this song. And if you haven't subscribed today, where have you been? Next one on the list is Edindro Whitehall, the smart-ass dog who openly and unabashedly asks for money. He's going into the Aziz Ansari story with his own special snark, sarcasm, and his own way of delivering the facts. So please check out Edindro's Aziz Ansari Predator. Next one on the list, Suit Yourself. He uploaded a video highlighting a scam. That particular video got him 3 strikes, so he is no longer able to live stream on his main channel. That is why down below there are 2 links next to his name, one next to and one underneath. The link underneath is the secondary channel in which he is doing his live streams now until those strikes fall off. Please show him some support by going to his secondary channel and subscribing, because he barely has 1,000 subscribers. Barely 700 subscribers on his secondary channel. So please go show your support for Suit Yourself. Yeah, 3 reality check. 3. I saw the screen caps on Twitter this morning and also his video. Alright, Toon. Creepiest translady ever wants you to shut up. He tackles, and I mean, she's ugly. She is fucking ugly. This woman, this thing is ugly. I can't really explain it. It's a thing. Well, I mean, it's out of 4, he's got 3, but his channel is still up. So apparently he can only upload, videos less than 15 minutes long on his main channel now. But yeah, when you take a look at it, it's 3 over, and there's 1 more strike that's empty that hasn't been hit yet. So I did take a look at that this morning. Oh my goodness. So yeah, this guy isn't it. I haven't figured out. Oh, she did. This person is stupid too. Yeah, Toon was absolutely hilarious with this particular response video. So you guys go and check that out. And now I'm going to come down here, take this out. And instead of cancer today, I found a couple of funny memes that I'm going to share with you guys while I'm talking to you, and before I go to the live streams. live stream announcements for the day. So let me see. Anime. Oh, yeah, because Teen Vogue and I think BuzzFeed are synonymous for, flagging people because they don't understand the meaning of, fair use. Oh, let me see. So scams are now a protected class. Apparently. Neil, strike handling has gotten weird on YouTube. Yes, it has. I completely agree. Let me see here. Yeah. When you can't figure out what it is sitting in the chair, what do you say, really? I mean, seriously, what do you say? When you can't identify the thing sitting in the chair, what do you say? Gaylord, they understand fair use. They just don't like criticism. Yeah, good point. Good point. That is a good point. They don't like criticism at all. Their poor little fifis are hurt all the time, everywhere they go. I tried to watch Sinatra's stream last night where he had Count Dacula and Destiny on there. I couldn't watch too much of it because every time Destiny opened his mouth, I was losing brain cells. Because I don't want to lose that many brain cells listening to somebody who doesn't understand plain English. And it was apparent to me that Destiny was not understanding the words that were coming out of Count Dankula's mouth, even though they were plain English. Of course, he has an accent, but it was still plain English. Let me see. I missed saying hello to a couple of people that popped in. Didn't I? Oh, hey, the Nuggets. Hey, I know you guys popped in. Hey, Wiki. I know I typed hey to Wiki, but I didn't say it formally. And I got a G. Bronert in the chat. And I know I said hi to Jacob. So everybody is covered now. I like to say hi to everybody. As I get more people in the live chat, I absolutely love to say hello to people and to acknowledge people in the live chat. And I know as my channel grows, it's probably going to get impossible to do so. So, as I get more and more people in the live chat, like when it starts going really fast, if you guys can orange box me a good morning or something so I can see it and acknowledge you back. Hey, Callie. I will be more than happy to have a conversation with you that way when it starts going a little too fast for me to keep up with. I know I don't ever want this channel to get to the point where you feel you have to super chat to have your message seen. I don't ever want it to get to that particular point. So I do still want to keep it like news show with a conversation in between the people that are in my live chat and myself, because I kind of like this arrangement. Neil, hey Magnus Deacon, don't connect myopia sufferers with Destiny. Uh-oh, now I gotta scroll up and see what he said. Destiny seems a bit short-sighted. Yeah, I know, Magnus. I think his Destiny is, I don't know. I think Destiny is what happens when you're dropped repeatedly on your head as a child. That's just my theory. Callie, Maddie's gonna be bigger than PewDiePie. I don't know about that. PewDiePie is like astronomically large. I don't know if I'm ever gonna be that big. Destiny's missing his brain, I swear. His brain might be on strike. Might possibly be on strike. Okay, so live stream announcements that are scrolling all times Eastern Standard Time. 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Numbed Skull hosts The Great Debate, which is a debate and kind of a game show format, which is really cool to watch. 11 a.m., and he's started playing his music now to get everybody into his live chat. Tonka Saw on the Kumite at 11 a.m. I would tell you when that ended, but sometimes it just never seems to end. Grab a beer, some peanuts, or maybe some pizza and wings, and join Hellcats on Jason Brazeal's channel at 8 p.m. 6 p.m., The Ghost Takes a Poo on Drunken Uncle's channel for the Ghost Poo podcast. 9 p.m., Lords of the Nights on Ranting Monkey's channel, and after that live stream is over, Minions of the Zoo does their night stream. So those are the live stream announcements for the morning. If you wish to have me promote someone's live stream, it must be a scheduled live stream with a regular day or time or days and time that it airs. If you want me to highlight that and add that to my live chat list, just like any artists you want me to highlight before the show starts, you can either DM me on Twitter or Discord, and I will do my best to add things to the list and also add them to the slideshow at the beginning of the live stream or before the show starts. Oh, I think my tongue is starting to go on strike. But yeah, we need, as YT is messing with people, we need to help each other out as much as we can. Not only fellow creators on YouTube, but also artists who provide artwork and avatars and stuff for the people so they can do what we do. Never shit happens in the world, so anytime. I love you, LaNuggets. I love you, dude. Thank you all for coming. And as usual, may your caffeine ever flow. May your caffeine be ever strong. And may you have a wonderfully wacky Wednesday. Take care, my coffee nuts.